Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about peace and structure. Most men think that discipline is about force, white knuckle habits, grinding harder, pushing through. That's why discipline eventually fails for them. Because real discipline isn't punishment, it's peace and structure. If the messages that I've shared with you thus far have resonated with you, then you understand what it is that I'm talking about. Because if they're landing with you, then you already know this. You know that your identity didn't collapse because you lacked discipline. It collapsed because the discipline that you had was built to serve the old version of you. So, rebuilding doesn't start with motivation. It starts with alignment. Each and every one of us, as we go through life, things change. And as those things change, we have to change. We have to adjust. We have to make the necessary changes so that we can move forward, so that we can get where we want to get, and so that we can maintain what we already have. So you have to think forward as you go forward into this. So here's another truth that most men and most men don't know and most programs won't tell you. Discipline without identity is self-violence. You cannot force yourself into peace. You cannot force yourself into clarity. Men don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because they're disciplined in a direction that no longer makes sense. This is where the rebuild process becomes practical. Rebuilding happens in 3 stages. Now, each individual is just that, an individual. However, these 3 stages are actually consistent with growth for most people. Well, for just about everybody, which is the same thing. First, correction. You have to stop reinforcing what's misaligned. You have to remove the noise, and you have to simplify. Again, first thing, you have to stop reinforcing what's misaligned. You have to remove the noise, and you also have to simplify. Number 2 is structure. You rebuild your days around stability and not urgency. So, sleep, movement, silence, and order. Again, step 2 is structure. So, you want to rebuild your days around stability and not urgency. So not rushing for everything, not reacting to everything that happens, understanding that you need certain things so that you can move forward. One of those things is sleep. Another one is movement, and another one is silence so that you can get your mind together. And then order, collecting the things that you need to collect so that you can move forward into the direction and where it is that you want to reach to get to your success. And number 3 is discipline. So not as a force, but as a containment. Discipline becomes the fence that protects your peace. It is how men stop living a reactive life. Again, discipline is how you actually retain your peace, and it's how you stop living a reactive life. So here's something that you can apply immediately, and you can do it now or you can do it tonight. What structure in your life actually creates peace? And what structures just keep you busy? Most of us find ourselves doing busy work, doing things where we're actually working on somebody else's problems and not on our own, somebody else's concerns, somebody else's goals, but not our own. We need to work on our own so that we can actually do what we need to do. So what are the things that create peace for you? And what are the structures within that just keep you busy? What are the things that keep you running around and keep you not really getting to where you want to get? So then remove one thing that exists only to prove something, if for no other reason, just to prove that what I'm talking about is actually going to make sense and will work for you. Peace doesn't come from doing more. You constantly hear people talk about this. Sometimes it's not about you doing more, it's about you doing less and putting more quality into the things that you're actually doing less. So it comes from doing what aligns, and not only doing that, but doing it consistently. So you have to do what aligns and do it consistently. This is the difference between motivation and rebuilding. Motivation spikes, rebuild stabilizes. It actually puts you in the area where you want to be and moves you to the points where you want to be and where you want what you want to accomplish. What's your goals? What's your mission? What time are you putting aside to actually get those things done? And how much time are you wasting working on things that actually don't get you anywhere? This busy work. So rebuilding stabilizes, and stability is what successful men actually starve for. We all want to reach our goals. We all want to get to certain places and get things done. That's the work that we do inside the rebuild process, because discipline is not punishment. It's how peace becomes permanent. So if you feel like this is a reckoning for you, understand that you're not broken. You're at the crossroads. Apply to the rebuild process. This is Mr. Z Inspires, and you guys take care. Be well.